Welcome to another video. Now, for the recurring or long-standing viewers or even fans of this channel, you'll know that this channel was built upon primarily three things. Martial arts, survival, and zombies. Now forget that third thing, because this series is only going to involve those first two things. As anyone who's seen this channel will know, I am a lifelong martial artist, and survival is one of the primary topics that I study, mostly preparing for the zombie apocalypse. But survival in general is one of my specialties when it comes to the subject matters that I have covered on this channel, which is why it brings me great joy to say we are officially beginning the series where we are going to react to the manga series Karate Survivor in Another World, because it covers both of those topics that I mentioned. Martial arts, primarily karate, and survival. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm gonna try to cover the entirety of Volume 1 in this this episode. There are currently 10 out, and more chapters will be coming out eventually. So, as always, if you can, buy the physical media, and support the official release so that more volumes can come out and the manga can get paid. Those guys basically work themselves to death. We can at least pay for their stuff. And let's get into it. Right. My name is Hitoshi Nozaki, and I'm single. People call me a wildling because of my name and appearance. But suddenly, I'm almost naked in a strange forest in a different world. Why? I wonder how this happened. It all started with a truck. I was on my way to work when I rescued a student. I was ran over by this truck instead. My fading consciousness. Is there any chance of reincarnation? What a thought. When I woke up, I was in a white room. Hello. Do you know who I am? Kami-san? God? I want to reincarnate you into another world. What's the matter with you? This is a decision you can't veto. Understand. But, come on. Wait. What? You're tiresome. You said it's a pain in your ass. The previous gods made a contract with the reincarnated god to exchange souls on a regular basis. The contract is still valid, even if the person changes. Write a new one. I've got a bad feeling about this. Isn't there some kind of description in the reincarnation? I don't know. It's pretty much how you imagine the world to be. Levels, skills, shifts, magic, monsters. You can read my thoughts. You're not going to be reincarnated as a literate monk. You'll be reincarnated in your current form. What? It's not really reincarnation, but a transfer or a trip. I'll change your body to suit the world over there. You're reborn in a new body, so it's reincarnation. Oh, and no cheats, please. What? Seriously? See you. What? Enough already. It's a pain in the ass, but I'll send you. I'm not. No matter if it calls for screaming or not, I'm not going to do it because there's people sleeping currently in the house. Okay. So standard isekai premise. Premise. Guy, sees a person about to get hit by a truck, pushes him out of the way, gets hit instead, wakes up in another world. This is Yeah, it's your typical isekai plotline. Seriously? God damn it. I don't have a cheat. I don't have any clothes. Calm down, me. Times like this, you have to, rank what needs to be done and get it done. First thing we need is to assess our surroundings. It's a forest as far as the eye can see. You sent me to this ridiculous place. Is it dangerous to move in the dark? I've decided my top priority is to find water. Need to find a water source. Yeah, make a base nearby and find food. But before that, strip some tree bark, make a straw skirt. Oh, that's quite good. It's been uncomfortable though. I can't focus on exploring. But at least I can protect my dignity as a human. Thank you, Discovery Channel. Well, now that that's out of the way, let's start with some survival stuff. Okay, so talking about dignity as a human, less important than you would expect. But given that this is another world, you're probably going to encounter humans at some point. You want to maintain at least some modesty. But personally, I would prioritize shoes over anything else. But I can definitely see the importance of that. Yeah, importance of covering that area. It's just that I think shoes would be the priority, and you can make them that's the same materials that he has available. Yeah, so damn. Yeah, even moving is so hard. Are we really going to find a water source like that? Is it going? Sounded like a small animal. That's right. Sounds. My eyes aren't effective yet inside the forest, but I'm getting an overwhelming amount of information with my ears. Constantly paying attention to the sounds from my surroundings. There's no doubt this sound is. Yes. Whew. I did it. I did it. Okay, next let's find a shelter. Animals gather around water sources, so a place not too close to it would be great. Okay, that is right. You don't want to be too close to the water with your shelter, but not because animals can go there, but because that's where, that's a common, breeding ground for insects, specifically mosquitoes. Yeah, that, and also generally speaking, the ground around there is going to be a lot harder to work with. Yeah, when you need to. It's a 2 minutes walk from the water source. It's like a 300-year-old wood single-storied building. All right, I've decided on here. Wait. I applied some fruit juice and waited for about 5 minutes and it didn't get inflamed. For now, that's passable. Next, let's take a small bite and wait a few hours. I don't develop any allergic reaction, this fruit is edible. Okay. What he's doing here is a classic test to tell if something is poisonous, or dangerous in any way before consuming it. You slowly increase your exposure to it to see if there's any reaction. But his timing is a little off. Generally, you rub it on your skin. If there's you wait 15 minutes, not 10, and if there's no reaction, then it's safe to go forward. But instead of taking a bite, usually the next stage is to rub it on your lip. And then, of course, after that is take a bite, and chew. But then you don't have to wait a few hours. You wait another 15 minutes or so. Now I'm assuming this. Now I could assume that this means he's actually taking a bite and swallowing the fruit, and so he's just waiting to see if he gets any gastrointestinal distress, or anything along those lines. But that's just dumb. Don't bite it. Don't take a bite of a fruit to tell if it's poison or not, just because it doesn't affect your skin. Follow the procedure. especially because the procedure takes less time than what you're doing. All right. Luckily, there are a lot of foods that look edible here. Let's slowly increase the range of foods that I can eat. Now the only thing left is... Come on, come on. Among all the fires I ever saw, this one is the most beautiful. Okay, that's a classic method for starting a fire. Yeah, rather than the class, what most people think with the whole rubbing two sticks together thing. The most efficient means of starting a fire when you don't have any actual fire starting equipment is called the bow drill method. Where you take a flat piece of wood, put the stick on there, and use a rope or a string, anything between those two. Wrap it one notch around the stick, hold it on both ends. Ends. Usually there's a stick connecting both ends of the rope. That's why it's called a bow drill, because the rope and the stick make a shape that you make something similar to a bow. And you use a rock or something to hold the stick in place so you don't hurt your hand, and then you just move it back and forth because it creates a constant very fast rotation, and the friction gains heat until eventually it gets hot enough to where with proper kindling you can start a fire. He's basically doing that same thing here, except he's using his hands for it instead of the string for it, which makes it significantly harder, but this is definitely possible. However, in this situation, if you don't have access to the bow that makes the bow drill possible, you might be better off with the other method, which, okay, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's basically the same thing. But you put the stick on the blower part and just rub it like this, until it generates the friction to gain the heat necessary, to create the fire through the kindling. If I remember correctly, the best example of this in pop culture was in the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks. Except, it also shows a realistic way that could go wrong when the piece of wood breaks and stabs into his hand, and then he's bleeding like crazy, and he just starts cleaning. And then, if I remember correctly, he starts trying to clean it off with the ocean water, which, first off, would hurt like crazy because of the salt content. But I'm also not sure about how sanitary that is. Which might seem weird, but sanitary conditions definitely matter in survival, and beyond that, especially for your hands. I mean, if it's your foot, you can technically lose a foot and still keep going. If you manage to make even just a makeshift prosthetic, it's much easier to replace a foot than it is a hand. It's almost impossible to replace a hand, even with modern prosthetics. Okay. All right. I don't know how many days it'll take for me to get out of this forest. And I need some food that can last a long time. I want to make some smoked meat. If I succeed, I can also get some pelt. Tomorrow, let's start preparing for hunting. Is this my status? Amazing. So you can do that type of stuff. It's awfully simple. There's only one skill. I just have karate. Not bad. It does suit me perfectly. Yeah, I mean, karate's a very versatile thing to utilize in these situations, because what does karate come with? Better situational and spatial awareness, improved physicality, better reaction times, improved mental fortitude, a lot of great benefits. And that's not even mentioning that since this is likely anime karate, there are karate guys in real life who can punch down trees. Sensei Seth Adams from the YouTube channel Sensei Seth, famously did that in a video. Well, I'm not sure if I could really count it as famous anymore, considering he's done a lot more stuff at this point, like his placing second in the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship, being a national being a two-time national sumo champion in the heavyweight division. Light heavyweight division. And competing in the world championships and placing fourth, which doesn't sound, all that impressive until you remember this is the world championships. Okay. Moving on. This one is more than enough. Let's survive here. So I'm going to add animals that are herbivores heading towards the water source. Tried to make it, by memory. So I have no idea if it's actually going to work or not. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, basic pitfall trap. Yeah, you make it, basically he made a cross section with sticks that should be strong enough to hold up stuff to cover it. Yeah, but not strong enough to where if an animal walks over it, the sticks will cave in, breaking, and then the animal will fall in. Yeah, usually this also includes stuff like spikes at the bottom, similar to what, and then they would, the animal falls onto it, and I cannot say the rest since this is being streamed on Twitch before going to YouTube. Oh, and the reason for that is simply just because my recording software is better suited for Twitch than YouTube. But I can record the things the same way, and then transfer them from Twitch to YouTube. Okay, but yeah, this is a basic trap and very good too. Okay. It's too small for the trap. Is it wearing something? Something's coming. Is that your classic fantasy monster, Mr. Goblin? They actually say yeah. They're heading towards the trap. That's my chance to get some experience. It doesn't work if they don't erase the smell. Okay, that is, actually a very important thing to distinguish. Now, the goblins recognized it by smell, but they were able to recognize what kind of trap it was from sight, because he didn't do anything to disguise the trap itself. Now, you might think, okay, these traps are intelligent, are good, but they're only good for animals. You wouldn't get them on a person, or heck, even a particularly smart animal might not fall for it. But in the Vietnam War, this was actually a common trap used by the Viet Cong. Now, it didn't do too well in the war, but there were plenty of soldiers who did get on the wrong side of this. You just have to disguise it properly with the surroundings. If you're in the middle of a clearing, and then there's just a random cluster of leaves over in a circular pattern, well, no one's going to believe you're just raking leaves in the forest. It's pretty obvious. So you have to do stuff to disguise it. You got to cover the surrounding area. Now, this is a problem if you yourself forget where your trap is. But for the most part, you're fine. Okay? All right. Now that it's turned out like this, I have no choice but to carry on. Okay. All right. It looks like and the tree branch he was supporting himself on snapped. He's falling right on top of a goblin. And in the same motion, the broken tree branch he was holding on to, he hits the goblin over the head with it. First one. Slow? Where the F do you think you're looking at? Okay. All right, the angle at which it actually connects with the goblin, makes me think made me think it was a crescent kick. But the image here of him extend with his leg in that position makes me think it's more of a front kick. Now, the difference here is crescent kick goes in a circular motion, whereas the front kick is straight on. And on top of that, with the crescent kick, with the crescent kick, you would aim with the side of your foot, whereas this one has a fair amount of connection with the big toe. So that would be a sloppy crescent kick. And even if it is a front kick where you're trying to connect with the toes, now connecting with the toes is a very good way of finishing a fight as soon as you can. Because it puts all the force of your kick into one small point. It's like stabbing with your feet. But it looks a little off center, so it looks like he barely made like he almost missed. But given how short they are, he could have been aiming it somewhere else. Okay. All right. But toe kick to neck. Not the technique I would have done, but it is a good technique. Second one. Let's quickly finish the third. Okay. It has a weapon. It's pulled back fully behind his head. Now, unless it's crazy fast, you're most likely able to connect an attack before it hits. But he was preoccupied with the second one, so maybe he just didn't. It's closing in too fast for him because he reacted slowly. Right. Calm down. Swinging down from the top. He's full of openings. Say. Okay. Reverse punch. One of the strongest techniques you can do. A clean hit with Sei Kinzuki in the filth room. I did it. Yeah. Sei Kinzuki basically just means a punch with a normal fist. That's what Seiken means, normal fist. And Zuki means punch. Is there vital points difference in a human? Well, yeah, I mean, that would make sense. He's blindly attacking me. I can't approach with those clumsy attacks. Okay, that's actually a very interesting thing that he brought up here. This is something that a lot of experienced fighters notice when they had to spar the new guy. They have those awkward movements. Their footwork is all over the place. And they don't respond to your setups, or your fakes. So even though because of your skill, you should be able to handle them, because of how awkward it is to fight them, it is difficult. Case, just like how a lot of the old fencing masters, there was the rule that when you were ready to become a master, you had to be able to defeat 3 opponents: a beginner, a master, and a drunk. Because the beginner, doesn't react the same way as the master. The master has high level skills, so you got to be able to beat one to prove that you're on that level. The beginner, does all the awkward stuff and attacks with reckless abandon and all that. And the drunk does stupid things and doesn't fear pain because they don't feel it. That's basically what's happening here. Especially because if this guy since this guy trains karate in Japan, they have a pretty high standard for students, and generally you don't, as far as I know, you don't spar too much outside of your rank. Now, in my experience, in karate, I'm used to sparring beginners because, well, whenever my school would do sparring, it was kind of an everyone spars everyone kind of thing. We just swap out partners every round until everyone sparred everyone. And I usually end up sparring the white belts because, well, there are some people I just don't like to spar, so I go for the white belts regardless. And because I'm generally the best at getting the white belts to actually do things. You'd be amazed what you can get someone to do. How much advantage you can get, movement you can get people to do when you just don't have a guard. I took up the Muhammad Ali stuff whenever I spar people. Whenever I spar the new people, or whenever I just want to go old school. Okay, back to this. Okay. All right, he trips on a tree root, and winds up for another attack. I purposefully left an opening to lure you an attack from the top. That's classic. Yeah, karate. And by that I mean it was mentioned in the Bubishi, the oldest text in karate history. Actually, here. Yeah. Sorry, it took me a second to find it. Here. Just here, page 276 of the Bubishi. This technique right here. Yeah, often it is technique number 16. It is often often it is essential to deceive an attacker to make an opening. Use the drunken fist method to feign intoxication, weakness, or cowardice, and when he lets down his guard, immediately counterattack. A person is at their absolute most vulnerable to an attack when they're doing an attack themselves. Because a good attack requires commitment. Yeah. So basically, it's just yeah. Now this is I believe less common in modern sport karate, especially because well, it might be in full contact. Actually been a while since I've watched any full contact matches, but yeah. Okay. Vertical knife hand to the base of the spine. As for how powerful that attack is, my average knife hand, from this position. We're talking one of these. And not a fully overhand one where you can put your full back into it. My average clocks in at 60 pounds of force. And here, let me double check how much it takes to. I won't actually say the words because Twitch. Okay, the cervical spine takes 3,000 newtons, approximately 674 pounds of force. Bilateral facet dislocations, about half that. Okay. So now, given that he's an anime protagonist, let's assume he's at least 3 times stronger than me. This is a definite knockout move, but I'm not sure if it's a killing. But I don't really think it's a killing move, especially because it's to the bottom of the neck. If you're aiming a little higher, I can definitely see that causing some cerebral hemorrhaging. Yeah, but I think this is a knockout move, not a killing move. Okay, but at the same time, he did fall from standing and landing on his face like that. Okay, never mind. He just won. He just finished it. So yeah, from the looks of it, knockout move that he finished. I won. I won against those monsters. Oh, I leveled up. I can do it. This world. I can do it. Where to pick this up? My current Japanese, I don't think I'll be able to translate the next few chapters. Okay, this is just a translator's note from the website I'm getting this off of. I will say, I do actually own the physical copies of these. I'm just using the website because it's the easiest way to stream it with a quality that allows me to actually, well, yeah, well, what it's like trying to do it with physical copies. Yeah. Hey, stop! I won't let you get away. It's been 3 months since I came to this world. I became level 8. The center of gravity is shifting. It's turning to the left. As my level rises, my 5 senses are becoming sharper. There. Gotcha. My physical ability is also improving. A big catch. Huh. Found some chili pepper. It can be used as an insecticide or for sterilization. It also has some restorative properties, so it's very valuable. This plant is identical to a chili pepper. Take as much as possible. Stick some in my belt. So noisy. They arguing. I defeat around. Is that 50 or 80 of those guys since I became level 8? I didn't level up. Should I just ignore those guys? Because they're yourselves a lucky job. To be honest, I was worried that they'd become this forest king in these 3 months. Huh? So they become quiet until this moment. What was that roar? Oh yeah, it's a hobgoblin. Is that a goblin evolved from a hobgoblin? He's huge. Is he gonna reprimand their quarrel? No, doesn't seem like it. Since I came to this world. Are you for real? This is the first time that I met a monster stronger than me. He's found me. For the first time, I was the one being hunted. Ugh. He's still chasing after me, but the distance is increasing. The huge body turns into an obstacle in the forest. But goblins have a sharp nose. I'm afraid it's impossible to completely lose them, especially for the evolved type. In other words, I won't give up. The forest isn't safe anymore. I have to get out of here. Fighting with them alone isn't something I can do. Damn it. I'm king of the forest. I can't stop shaking. Goodbye. My first home from another world. Thanks for helping me in these last 3 months. What are you looking at? How many days has it been since I left my shelter? I want to find some city soon. So calm. So calm and almost dozing off. Right now I just want to meet another human. That was dangerous. Having a muddy swamp here saved me. Something's there. Another beast? Maybe a goblin. Hey! Don't come any closer. Goblin! Who are you calling a goblin? Come on, after finally meeting another human. That Roy just now. Hobgoblin. Such tenacity. There's no doubt that guy was set on killing me from the moment we met. Sure, it's because I messed around too much in his territory. I can see him. Hey, that girl's unharmed. Let her go! Hey! Get your filthy hands away from that girl, you... And he's pulling a Tarzan and... Okay, flying knee. Alright, now, why a flying knee? Well, sorry, put my hand down in the wrong spot. Now, why a flying knee? Yeah, right. Yeah, generally speaking, yeah, if you have the ability to use range, I recommend range, which he did there, I generally recommend going first. Something similar to a flying sidekick, because longer weapon, more your mass behind it. And you get so you can hit with harder force. But he's aiming to a hard spot of the body, the face. In this case right here in the middle. Wait, actually, let me check. Yeah, a little bit off to the side. Side. Yeah, like this. So you could probably be like that. So he's aiming for a hard spot. So he's using a hard body part to hit with. Because he's not trying to. Because he's trying to break the bones in this case, which makes sense. He's going for the instant disabling, to use a more friendly word. So it's not wrong, it's just a different choice. I would have gone with the sidekick, but at the same time, that's just because I don't have too much experience with throwing knees to the head, only because I prefer to throw them to the body. And I'll be real, I was never a fan of the jumping knees. But this is definitely a good technique. Okay, and he jumps down, superhero landing, and for real, he didn't even fall after eating that. Now that is disheartening when you hit someone with as hard as you can and they don't move, and they don't seem to take any serious damage from it. I remember the first time I was sparring, I got paired with when I got paired with one of the big guys. I hit him with a jumping front kick, squared his chest, and I moved backwards instead of him. That was disheartening. In this case, though, flying knee to the face from swinging on a vine, and he doesn't, and he just now, looking forward in the frame, it looks like he just got a bloody nose, maybe a broken nose, but he didn't actually seem to take any considerable damage. That would definitely be disheartening, and maybe even make you think that the fight didn't go too well. But at the same time, I would generally recommend hyper-aggression in this scenario. You stunned him, so keep attacking. All right, continue. Are you okay? Can you stand? Yes. Yeah. Leave here. Leave here to me. Just run. What? Were you separated from your group? Anyone will do. Even a goblin. Just go. Okay. Looks like I have no choice. Let's go. Okay, squaring up with a hobgoblin. Now, before reacting to the fight, how would I go about this? Well, I would employ the Sabaki method. And he's gonna try to attack me head on, because that's where he has the best chance of victory because of his size. What I would do is attempt to go around the sides. Sides by circling to attack him from points where he can't attack me with his full strength, or to where I have the optimal position. Generally speaking, I could wait until he attacks. Evade while circling, and then strike to vital points. Since he says he's fought so many goblins, even just since he turned level 8, it might be reasonable to assume he understands the differences between goblin and human anatomy at this point. But even so, there are just some basic structural anatomy that are genuinely non-negotiable, like the knees and elbows being weak points. Or if a creature has a rib cage, you can assume what's behind the rib cage is important. Because otherwise, why would they have evolved to have the rib cage? Or if you look at their feet, we saw earlier that they're similar in construction, in evolutionary design to a human's. The human foot is a very delicate structure. which is why so many styles, straight up just have to say to stomp on the foot because that's an easy way to cause serious injury. That's why it's such a big foul in boxing because you can completely disable a person's maneuverability with it. So you do have so realistically you do know at least some of the vital points just by understanding structure. I mean, heck, the eyes are still there. It seems like the neck is still the same. So that's it. Sabaki face him from the attack from the side, so he can't use his full strength. To face me. And attack. And once I cut to the side, immediately attack vitals, and then just continue with hyper aggression, like I stated earlier. Try to win as quickly as possible, and don't without risking an all-out fight where he can use his full strength. But then again, pretty much any martial artist will tell you the same thing. That's a lot of pressure. Is this the kind of feeling you get, writing a love letter, I wonder? I want to run away with my tail between my legs. But I can't run. Wait. Not without her. Come on. The blow is heavy, but it's slow. He's wide open. I can take the shot. Hard. His body's incredibly hard. The hit did nothing. Its blows are almost instant. What did I do? His muscles are too thick. I'll aim for somewhere soft then. Right in the jewels. What do you think of that? I guess it worked. Okay. Now, that is a fair assessment if you manage to figure out that those parts are the same as a human male. But at the same time, that's a pretty big risk. If you go for that shot and don't immediately follow up with more things, you do run the risk of it not helping too much because you get two responses with this. You get the classic pain response where it seems like the guy just curls in on himself. Or the other one, which is just as common. They get so mad, they start fighting better. So let's see what happens. Okay, he immediately starts attacking again with a headbutt. Now, this is actually very good form with his headbutt. He's hitting with the top of the head. Generally, I go more forehead than top of the head just because the lacing on the top of the skull is a fairly sensitive spot, but the forehead is good. A lot of people teach top of the head instead of forehead. Because it's a lot easier to accidentally hit too low with this than this. And seems like he was aiming for the nose, but because the guy was leaning forward, he got a little bit high. That does tend to happen. Okay, and then when he backs up, he goes for a punch. Oh, wait, that's Boshiken. That's thumb fist strike. This is Boshiken. This is also Boshiken. This is technically Boshiken as well. Just because it takes on many forms throughout various styles. But I was always more partial to this one. But basically, he's just jamming his thumb in the guy's eye. It's one of the classic boxing cheats as well. Although you don't see it too much nowadays because of how thick the gloves are. You genuinely can't even close your fist if you don't have ridiculous grip strength. You just kind of like this. Okay, that is honestly a good combo. He attacked 3 vital spots. He attacked the groin, which caused a pain response, creating space. He attacked the nose with a headbutt. And then he went for the eye with for the eye. 3 different vital spots. Each one allows for a different ability to disable. The groin, causes immense pain, which can severely limit a person's ability to utilize their lower body. Attacking a person's nose often causes them both to to have their eyes start watering, which means that they are which means their sight is impaired. And because they were struck in the nose, it often means that they'll struggle to breathe through their nose, forcing them to breathe through their mouth, which is a lot harder, more taxing. And if you have to start thinking about your breathing, if you stop thinking about it for a second, that means manual breathing basically. If you get stuck in manual breathing, you have to actively be thinking to breathe, or you won't. And now I'm manually breathing. Okay, and then the eye. I don't think I have to explain why taking a thumb to the eye it makes it harder to fight. Okay, and okay, he's swinging. Its power is absurd. Okay, he's got it now. Chin down, both hands up. Up, using both forearms to block this punch. That's technically a good guard. Against an opponent with heavy attacks, but it sends him flying, crashing into a tree. Wait. Actually a little hard to tell what's happening here. Okay, he's on the ground, gets up. Now, this, like I said, this is a good guard, but one of the key problems with a guard like this, when you're bare knuckle, is you take the hit, but then, here, let me go a little bit sideways so you can see. You take the hit, your fist goes into your hands. Your fist goes into your face. And that would happen with both hands. Which ultimately means you're not defending much, but you are, but you are at least stopping the initial onset. Now, can you make this better? Well, in karate, we actually have an outright technique for this that exists in a couple of the katas. Here, I'll back up a second and enlarge the screen so I can show it properly. Yeah, this movement here. Now, that's a salute from the Teki katas, or Naihanshin in the original Okinawan. But basically, it takes on two primary uses. The first one, is basically from a clinch scenario, grab the back of their head, pull in, push down, oftentimes while circling. It's a classic break posture and escape. Oftentimes with the katas, it's shown as, okay, you got this salute, salute technique here. This allows you to disengage from a clinch scenario. But if that doesn't work, here's the rest of the kata is there for that. But the alternate application of this is like this. Just covering up. Now, because your hands are already on your head, they can't go back to smack you. It gives a much sturdier thing to block with. And ultimately, leads to less injury from the actual onslaught itself. Yeah. Sorry, I had to move something so my chair could roll back. My weight has got in the way. Keep it by my desk can't remember the reason why I put it there, but there was probably a reason. At some point, at least. Okay. Back to the manga. All right. All right. He's on. He's staggering. He's seeing double. Are you serious? This is what a blow from this thing is like. Even guarded? I was a fool. Okay. Big wide swing. If you have a weakness, I'll use it. The left eye is squashed. He's got a blind spot. Okay, it doesn't have a weakness. You gave that weakness. Okay, stepping into the creature's blind spot. And he hits him with a high roundhouse. Now, the roundhouse kick is one of the hardest kicks in karate. Not the hardest kick in karate, mind you. Depending on who you ask, it's either the back kick, or the tornado kick. It really depends on if they consider the tornado kick to be a karate technique. I claim it. Yeah, but, semantics. Okay, from the right, high kick. Please, just go down. Okay, and you might be thinking, okay, that's ridiculous. That this guy should go down by now. A lot of people don't go down from a kick like that. So honestly, yeah, this isn't too far fetched. Especially since Nomad, since our character here, is barefoot. Yeah, there's really nothing to amplify the power of his kick, and he's already fatigued. He's staggering. Yeah, he's not going to be kicking at his fullest. So him not going down here makes sense. Okay, he's planted himself. Yeah, grab and bite. Yeah, now this is one of the classic karate things. You get grabbed. We got defenses for this one, usually from grab and punch. The classic double collar starting to shake you down. We got plenty of those, but I have yet to see a grab on the triceps and biting the shoulder. I might actually have to look in to see if there's any techniques for this, but I'll be real. This is a bad scenario. Best advice I can give here is get a rabies shot. Maybe hit him with a tomonage, but it's going to bite my left arm and clean off. I can't head here. I cannot say that on Twitch, and I can't find a way to censor that. Okay, thumb in the ear, middle finger too. Now, this isn't technically a karate technique. This is just classic dirty fighting, but at the same time, that's what karate's known for. We're known for being the guys who'll do any kind of nonsense to win the fight. But how would this realistically, hurt someone? Well, if you can manage to, it looks like he's got it down to the second knuckle, so that's about an inch down through the ear canal. Yeah, I think you're hitting the eardrum at that point. Yeah, which could permanently deafen someone in that ear. And he hits him with a front kick. Now that's the classic front push kick. That's as intuitive a technique as you get. Heck, when my sensei taught this one to me, he just told me think of it like a fireman trying to kick down a door. Now, admittedly, that was a poor description, and it took me years to figure out how to actually use this since we didn't practice it too often. But it's an intuitive technique, and it makes sense. And getting sent flying from this technique makes sense because it's a heavy movement that pushes you back. I've always said, snapping kicks are for damage, thrusting kicks are for moving people. But of course, that does lead to nonsense. Like I remember, my sensei always would ask the class, if you're trying to, what's the hard, does more damage between the two? And I say snapping, and he would always go, if you're trying to kick down a door, you're using a snapping kick or a pushing kick, or a thrusting kick. I don't know. Is the door suddenly free roaming? Roaming, capable of it. Moving back and forth and suddenly capable of independent thought. Because the reason why a thrust kick is so effective on a door is because it's a static thing that takes the full brunt of it without moving, and as such, will come down. If you kick it hard enough. Whereas with a person, if you hit them with a thrusting kick, either they move backward or you do. Very rarely are you going to have someone be able to stand there and eat the full force of the kick in a way that makes it to where they don't move. Okay, sorry, random tangent there. Okay, his middle finger on his right hand is bent almost completely backwards. Oh no, my consciousness is drifting. If this goes on, it'll be my end. This is the pepper of this world. The first time I ate it, it was unbearably spicy. At least it was edible. What the hell am I thinking about at a time like this? Is this it? Am I going to die? Not again. To that girl. I'm sorry. He pops the pepper in his mouth, and yeah, he ate the peppers to be able to give that pain sensation in his mouth. He had to keep himself moving. You see stuff like this and other things. But I won't go into them. He evades the attack with a classic head movement. Yeah, karate has head movement. You don't see it too often, but we have it. All right, moves forward and spits the peppers into his eyes. If this is bad for me, it's worse for you. It's like a bomb went off in your mouth, isn't it? Okay, that is a very Muay Thai technique, I'm going to be honest with you. But we do have those. The 12 to 6 elbow, the jumping knee. Now, the simultaneous one, now, off the top of my head, I can't think of any katas where that happens. But it's a combination that can be used. It's just it's not something you'd regularly see in any of the karate things. Hey, there's nothing about that that's allowed in point karate, because you're not even allowed to hit to the head in point karate. I mean, you're allowed to kick to the head, but it's not allowed in Kyokushin, because you're not allowed to elbow to the head in karate. I mean, in full contact karate. You might be able to in Ashihara karate these days, but yeah. Now, this would be allowed in Kudo, which, I'll be honest with you, I do consider to be a style of karate. But yeah, I can't think of any style that uses this particular technique. This is something that he made on the fly. It's not something that's typically in karate, but something that can be. But otherwise, this looks very Muay Thai. And the hobgoblin goes down, which makes sense. That is not exactly a technique that most people could get up from. Okay. I can't move a muscle. Mr. Goblin? Mr. Goblin? It's her. My eyes won't stay open. Okay, looks like we're on to... I can't tell what chapter this is. I think... Well, we're on page 57. Wait. Okay. I think we're getting to the end of the volume, which... Oh, good. This is a long video. Huh? Where am I? Ugh. Really? After I fought that hobgoblin. This is the spot where he bit me. Yeah, the spot where I hit the tree. Wonder if that chili helped me. Is this a human house? It means that child. A few months after coming to another world, I finally made it. I never dreamed that I would ever sleep in a bed again. This bed. That child's entire family. Yeah, use it. This pillow. Very sure this is... Goblin-san, I'm glad you're finally awake. Yeah, I haven't smelled anything. You need to escape from here immediately. The villagers are coming for you. They're going to attack you. But why? What? Does this mean you're the one saving me, right? Wait, episode 4. Okay, I think this means it's chapter 4. Okay, this is going on a bit long, so I think I'm just gonna finish this chapter, and then we'll move on from there. Why are they so eager to want to kill me? What the hell have I done? Hobgoblin materials such as bones and skins are very rare. All of these can be traded for a very high price. I see. So they're here to kill me and take the materials away? While people pass as villagers in another world. Oh, you wait here. Please open the door. Village pharmacist. Are you the village pharmacist? Please go home. I won't let you lay one finger on the patient. Hey, we'll get along well. So cold that you hid an old woman. My father is the mayor of this village, protects us. I don't know how famous he was in the royal capital. Wow. Show us that you're different. Why don't we open the door? I'll just kill him if we don't get along. Yeah, the text here is very small. Okay, basic synopsis here is that, she's telling him to leave. She gave him some ointment for his wounds, and he's refusing to leave. Patients keep quiet and listen to the pharmacist. Hey, let's kill both of them. The outside conversation just got interrupted. If you kill a pharmacist, he'll be troublesome later. That's right. It's good for that, too. You should just take that woman. Okay, I'm not saying that on Twitch. Okay, so essentially, yeah, he's decided. Okay, he's escaped out the back door. Yeah, losing my physical strength more than I imagined. I'm about to fall down. Okay, the villagers are attacking the woman. Okay. I think that's actually where we're gonna end it off here. Not, I know, bad place to end it, but this when it has gone on a fair bit longer than I was expecting. I was hoping we would at least get to get to the next fight scene, but I guess we're just gonna have to settle for this for now. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, leave a like if you'd like to see more of this. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, share it with a friend. If you didn't enjoy this video, share it with an enemy whose day you just want to make it a little bit worse. And as always, thank you all very much for watching. This is Random Man, signing off.